Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your Chief Security Fanatic here, and today I actually want to talk about the coronavirus last year, because the coronavirus ad you probably saw online last year was most likely fake, and I think this is actually really interesting. And obviously you guys know, if you've been a regular follower of mine, that I've worked really extensively with the COVID-19 Cyber Threat Coalition. It has been 1 year since we've all been doing this, and obviously it's been just a crazy year finding and identifying all of this cyber threat and making sure that critical infrastructure, hospitals, governments, etc. are all a heck of a lot safer. But obviously the CCTC, as we call ourselves, wasn't the only game in town, and I think others need recognition as well. And by virtue of that, I want to talk about an article from The Hill that talks about Google, because Google apparently blocked 99 million ads worldwide in their infrastructure related to the coronavirus pandemic that would have violated its policies in 2020, according to a transparency report that they actually released today. Now, the advertisements include attempts to sell fabricated cures, N95 masks when there was a shortage early on in the pandemic, fake vaccines, and on and on and on and on. I even think I saw an ad for toilet paper online, if everybody here in the United States remembers that. Now, Google's Vice President of Ad Privacy and Safety, Scott Spencer, said in a blog post, and I quote, "As we learn more about the virus and health organizations issued new guidance, we evolved our effort strategy to start allowing medical providers, health organizations, local governments, and trusted businesses to surface critical updates and authoritative content while still preventing opportunistic abuse. Our enforcement is not one size fits all, and this is the first year we're sharing information on ad restrictions, a core part of our overall strategy." Now, overall, Google blocked or removed 3.1 billion ads during the year of 2020. That's more than 850 million of those actually were sanctioned for abusing the company's ad network. So basically, over 850 million were sanctioned here. Now, the platform also restricted another 6.4 billion ads, limiting their reach or requiring advertisers to meet some requirements. On top of that, today's report also provided details on the political ad ban that Google instituted around the general election here in the United States. The company blocked advertisements on 3 billion searches that reference the election or its outcome. More than 5 million ads were temporarily paused during the 5-week freeze after November 3rd. And obviously, every campaign, not just the presidential campaign, but all the way down to Congress, probably even your local dog catcher, had all of their ads blocked. And I think that's a very interesting tell in the middle of this. So those are your stats. And that is absolutely crazy. 100 million, almost 100 million malicious ads focused around the COVID-19 entire situation. And hopefully you didn't fall for any of them. But that just shows that if at some point you were seeing ads, Google was essentially playing catch up. While they blocked it, that didn't necessarily mean they blocked it right out of the gate. As they were honing their AIs and improving things, they probably eventually did, or simply stopped blocking it unless it was from a validated source. But that is what we are talking about here. And I think this really also underscores the problem that we have, is that it's not just Google, it's Facebook and everywhere else. We are inundated with ads for products, and it really behooves us to do our own vetting on these things. Imagine if Google is blocking 99 million plus ads that are fake and related to this. How many of those actually slip through the censors looking legitimate or passing, let's say, some basic criteria that Google had? Facebook has different standards for their advertising, as does Amazon and anybody else. And so by virtue of that, really looking up these companies, understanding who we are purchasing products from or using their services is really important, because a lot of us were getting ripped off in the beginning. And literally in the Cyber Threat Coalition, we were seeing at one point something like 5,000 independent websites being spun up that were related to COVID-19 and coronavirus. Pretty much every criminal actor on the planet that was online was using the coronavirus as a lure, as this was obviously a worldwide pandemic that were locking down entire nations around the globe, from China to the United States to Europe to South America to everywhere. So this was a huge issue. And obviously this had to therefore be a huge focus, not just for organizations like ours, but the massive platforms like the Googles of the world as well. We are emerging from that. Obviously, we don't have shortages or runs on N95 masks or toilet paper anymore, but it really behooves us, if, God forbid, we end up with, COVID-22 or something like that, not that anybody's hoping for that, we need to make sure that we are once again focusing and vetting and filtering our own information, because as much as we all try to keep up with the cyber criminals, they didn't stop, which means a good chunk of that got through. So that is your news of the day. It's roughly 1 year of the coronavirus, at least for the Cyber Threat Coalition. So happy anniversary to anybody that, basically helped us out or did their part to make the world a little safer and healthier place. And hopefully we won't be having this conversation again in a year from now. So that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, everyone.